If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
The other time or recently, are you happy with the rules about losing staff members? You think they're fair that you get pilfered like this?
Yes, I do, because we have a unique set of skills that if they restricted these guys more, we couldn't fill our staffs. You know what I mean? John couldn't have filled his staff last year if he didn't
have the flexibility to go get guys.
So that's
But in Coquinez's case, but specifically now, you're under the gun a little bit because free agency starts in a month and a half, and you may have to replace him. Or you're going to have to replace him, it looks like. And you almost have to do it in-house.
There's so much institutional knowledge in the way that we do things that I don't know that there's one thing that George knows that Ozzie and Vince Newsom don't know. You know what I mean? So
a lot of cross-pollination.
It's ridiculously. So I think that we are set up to have that because scouts work up to Eric and guys like Vince and those guys. And, George gets involved in the draft and Eric gets involved in evaluating these players because he had evaluated them in their junior and senior years. So Eric's not in the dark when he's talking about Jimmy Leonard. He was studying Jim Leonard out of Wisconsin 3 years ago, and we didn't get him. And maybe we would have gotten him in the 6th round or something like that if somebody else didn't. So
does the physicality, I wanted to ask you this and I didn't, but as the guy paying for the players, and maybe John can answer this from coaching it, does the physicality worry you at all about, especially what you saw Sunday, about guys, about the almost was violent Sunday, and it could affect it affects your expenses when you have to put a guy on IR. It affects your expenses when your workers' comp goes up. All your expenses go up when you have to add a player because of an injury, and that was crazy Sunday.
Deacon Jones and Dick Butkus were doing that, 40 years, 50 years ago. It's just part of the game. So it doesn't concern me from a number standpoint. It concerns me from a personal standpoint. I like these guys. It's pretty crazy that they put their bodies on the line like this to make a living, but there's good money in it, and the fame and the excitement and the competition.
It seems like every year it's harder and faster and quicker and more violent.
I don't know. You'd have to do stats to back that up. As far as how many guys are on IR, how many guys have year-end injuries and life, and what the average of, I don't like that. The average, when they say like the average career in the NFL is 4 years, that's the most ridiculous stat in the world. 70% of those guys get cut because they're not good enough to play in the NFL.
Right.
Go look at the Pro Bowl guys in the last 30 years and tell me how long they stayed in the league, and they're probably 12 years. You know what I mean? So they try and make it sound like the brutality of the league is ending these careers, and that's just not the case.
You get a guy
2/3 of the guys don't make it.
You draft your 5th round, your 6th round guy, and you're going to give me a year to figure it out. It's going to be cheap, and then you realize next year I'll get another 5th round guy. Maybe he'll pan out. Eventually you'll get a guy with Bart Scott who will play.
That's significantly, so they get time to recover in the off season. Every one of them probably misses a half a season or a season in their career, and they're always bragging when one guy has played in 250 straight games and that kind of thing. But realistically, it's not 4 years.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.